Okay, well, time for another one of these because I just like to get my thoughts out. So, I finally watched Miss Marvel after it's been, I guess, a month since it released, and I'm just like the finale and everything, and it's just insane to me that I've taken that long. So my overall thoughts of it is that this was probably one of the hardest MCU shows to get through. I don't know why. Um, it's just nothing really gripped me, I guess. I just felt like the overall story is it's just kind of all over the place, and yet not like in a good way, you know? I mean, it's never all over the place, it's never like a good thing, but just the fact that there's just so much like not interesting plot lines kind of going on, kind of made for a very just slog to go through. Now, I still enjoyed it though, because there are a lot of things about this show that are just really well done. One of the best things, like I can say about Black Panther, Shang Chi, and Miss Marvel is that they are wonderful representations of their own specific culture. Like I just think for Black Panther, it was a great way to show Black culture and showing everything about that. Shang Chi was really good about showing Asian culture, and then this Miss Marvel was really good about showing Pakistani. I think I'm saying that right. Pakistan culture, or Muslims and everything, and India. It was really good. It's so lively, everything about like Bollywood, all the songs and everything they have, and all like the colors and everything. It's always so vibrant, so energetic, and I've always loved that. I've seen a couple Bollywood movies, and like the one thing I've always loved about them is the music. I just love that kind of music sometimes, it just kind of gets me in the mood. And this one, it had wonderful music. It was amazing. I love some of the remixes they had, with certain types of the music, and it just felt good, The colors and the art direction are top notch. Like I honestly will say this is probably one of the best looking MCU shows in terms of like just visual flair, because I like how Miss Marvel being a kid, and being a teenager, she likes to draw. A lot of like the things that pop in her head, and like what she thinks about people, it's kind of shown in like cartoonish, like art stuff. And I was like, that's really it's been done before. Like a good recent example is Mitchell's versus the Machines. Like the main character, she did that, and it was cool in that, and it's cool in this. Like it's always fun when characters do that. Um, but yeah, so I really enjoyed the overall feel of the show. Again, in the family part of the show, I loved it. I will say though, I did not like in the first episode. It's funny how like I looked on IMDb, and apparently everyone loves the first episode and the last episode, and for me, I did not like either of them at all. The first episode, I really dislike the parents because it just went into the classic route of like just out of touch parents that are being very embarrassing, and they're not aware of it, because they're just so sweet, and so they get hurt when they're doing an embarrassing thing and their kid gets mad at them. They're like, oh, well, okay, then. I don't know. Just the whole overall feel of the first episode, I just didn't like. Um, Funny enough, apparently the two episodes that I really enjoyed and it got an emotional feeling out of me. Apparently, those are the least rated IMDb scores. Apparently, for a couple people, and I'm very surprised because I vastly prefer when the story's actually not around the kids. If that makes sense. Like the episode 4 where it involved Kamala going to Pakistan, and kind of like being in her culture, and seeing everything. I loved all of that so much. It was just I just like seeing all of that. It was just so much fun going to a different world and like seeing, like her people, and just seeing her culture, everything. It was just so beautiful. The music, again, the music and the just how beautiful everything looked. I really enjoyed it. It's so great. And then I really enjoyed the fifth episode with like the story about Ami or whatever. No, it's Isa or something. I forgot all their names, but it was like the great grandma, and talking about some of the origins of the Bengal, how she met her husband, how she had Sana, the grandma, so much stuff. But anyways, I really enjoyed that because like it was such a it was kind of like a Bollywood movie, pretty much. Not gonna lie, and it was pretty good. It was well acted, like really well acted. Showed some history that I actually did not really know about how like I guess the British took over India and certain things happened. I didn't really understand it that well, but like I guess they pushed them out of their own country, like it's just classic age old time of like bullshit things. And but yeah, I think it was just an emotional weight with so much. I like I enjoyed the history part of it, and I don't know. It was a whole different show. Like it was a Bollywood show for a second. Like it didn't have Kamala in it for a bit. It was just like, and again, Kamala herself. A lot of people like always, like say how great she is, and honestly, yeah, she is very good. Like she does the best with what she's given. She's a very energetic. Again, it's kind of like because it's not really funny to me. Like a lot of times, it's not funny. The jokes just don't land at all. I don't think, it's my opinion. I don't like the jokes. But her as an actress, she's great at it. She's great at what she does. You know, she did a great job as Kamala. I think she fits Kamala really well. I vastly prefer her over the Kamala from Avengers game, even though she wasn't a bad character. It's just the actress just the kind of people like they kind of fake being so happy, or they fake that kind of feeling. It's overly happy or overly excited. And it's like some people can take that and like it feels really awkward. And there's times with this Kamala it feels the same way, but she's a lot more endearing about it, I guess. I enjoyed her part as Kamala. I think she's a great job. Um, I'm not really a fan of any of her friends. Another friend group is kind of thrown to the side. I don't really care. The villains, I don't care. They were extremely boring, and yeah, they were nothing. Like literally in episode 4, they just all die on like the cool chase thing or whatever. And I thought the chase again. Yeah, you always have chases in movies and TV shows, right? And it's kind of like, what are you gonna do that makes it different or makes it more interesting? And this one had some cool stuff in it, classic chase scene. And I just find it funny that like everyone died though, like in some ways. And then the mom, who's like the main villain for a bit, like she ends up just like sacrificing herself to close the rift. I have to go through a whole fucking like explanation. And again, this is more of my thoughts. This is not really gonna have anyone else watch it. But I don't know. I just felt it was so weak and so boring, and like it was leading to something that was like I was assuming was going to be the finale, and then it wasn't. And what they chose for the finale was not better, in my opinion. It's kind of like what the people over Marvel like. Oh well, we hear everyone complaining about like the big monster, big scale kind of stuff. So we'll just go smaller scale this time. We'll try to do a little curveball, and it's kind of like you have to make a more interesting curveball for me to want that. It's like because it wasn't an interesting curveball. The sun gets Kamala's powers because for some reason the energy when the mom blew up or whatever, like the seal became energy and it flew away and then it entered Kamran or whatever, and then he gets the powers and it's like I don't get it. I don't why did that happen? It's like the mom controlled the energy and it just went to him, and I don't know. It was really dumb. So out of left field. And then again, he's the entire, problem in the finale. There is no villain. I guess there's a villain. The police aim guys. That was also really dumb. I don't know, like, I remember them saying, we're going to use lethal rounds, and they're actually shooting them with guns and bullets. I must have missed something, or they missed something, because I was like, I'm pretty sure she said use lethal rounds. I want the kid alive, and then they actually bring out weapons like guns, and I'm like, you're shooting them now, like literally. And then there's a lot of TikTok stuff in this, because kids. It was, yeah. Again, I really enjoyed the visual flair. I really enjoyed the culture representation. It was well done. It really was. I love her costume. I love that her mom makes it for her. That got me in the field. I'm like, oh, her mom made it for her. Okay, I like that. I like how she got her name, Miss Marvel, because yeah, it's just cheesy, but like it was very sweet, very nice. I like that. I like her family is how she gains her superhero identity. I really enjoyed that. But everything else though did not like. I personally feel again just Marvel is just, I'm okay. This is going to another rant now about Marvel. The TV shows are a mistake. They really are. They are not doing what TV shows are supposed to be doing. It's like it's horrible because they're like mandated shows. Like they're made. It's just God, I can only imagine how much better this show would have been if it was an actual TV show, like an actual progressing maybe TV show, 2 or 3 seasons. I could have seen it like I don't know. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know because it really didn't grab me at all. So maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it. But I just know maybe the story would have been interesting. And maybe, I don't know. I just know that these Marvel TV shows are kind of draining at this point. I'm getting it's too much for me right now. And honestly, I'll make another video about that. Not right now, but yeah, I think it was a nice show to look at, and it had a lot of nice little things in it. But overall, as a story, it was very messy, very messy. Again, per Marvel MCU shows, it's just how it is now, and I'm kind of like, it's just we're not gonna get anything better than WandaVision. WandaVision was probably the closest we'll ever get to a cohesive, interesting story, and everyone after that has just. I'm being very honest, has not been up to par. It really hasn't. It's been interesting. It's been a good ride, but again, another video for another time. But I think again, this was a nice show. All right, it was hard to get through though. So I just it ended off stronger kind of for me. So maybe I'm more of like thinking about the better stuff than how I felt because it took me so many weeks to finish this compared to every other Marvel show. But again, props to everyone working on it. It's again just great culture, everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very like on this thing. But anyways, that's it. Bye.